DFW with your hosts, Robbie and Tracy Mitchell.
This thing is so dirty.
Dirty, man. My favorite car wash right here. Can you clean it?
Oh yes.
Can you get it done?
Man, they have this $49.99 special. It's full service. They do our tires. They'll vacuum the inside.
Okay, man.
Hot wax. They have a lava wax.
Let's go. There's Brian. Wave at Brian.
Hey, Brian. Woo-hoo. Sweet tea. When we took this thing off-road, I cannot believe how filthy it is.
Well, I shouldn't have took it off-road, but a vehicle like this. But
I know, but it was so fun.
I used to take my nephew, niece, and my little grandchildren through and sit in the car like this. Act like it was monsters on the brush that was coming after us.
Yeah.
They loved it. Oh, that's cool.
Neon. Lava wax.
I've used this car wash a long time and I never stayed inside.
Well, I'm so thankful that they've let you because you're on crutches.
Yeah.
I do wish I could put my hair through here one day.
I do too. It would save me a lot of money.
Professional blowout. This is stronger than hurricane wind.
It's a hurricane.
So what if I put the sunroof back right? What would happen?
Don't touch a button,
What?
please. Don't touch a
Jerry?
button. No, don't touch a button.
What would happen?
A lot.
You're so grumpy.
Keep your hands off of it.
Just grumpy. What's the
open-
point of having a sunroof if you
You
can't
open
see
nothing
the sun?
when we're going through the
Or
wash.
the moon.
And when we're going through the hurricane.
Did you bring a tip to tip these guys? They do so good.
I always tip them.
No, right there. Stay in. I think that's what they want us to do.
I'm here today with Mustang Elite Car Wash in Grapevine, Texas. My favorite car wash. I was thinking, Tracy, you always kid me about getting my car washed. Like I'm an addict about it because I like a clean car.
You're OCD, just a little.
I'm over, man, the other day I found out I'm over half a century. And all the car washes that I've ever gone to in several states, this is my favorite. No doubt about it, this is my favorite.
Why?
They get the job done. And they're very friendly.
Oh.
And they become my friends. Me and Mike's become good friends. 5 or 6 years.
I won't tell you any of the stories about it at all. No.
But it is a great car wash. Mike, what all do you have here to offer?
We do car wash, detail, oil change, state inspection, all your preventive maintenance over at the Loop Center.
And even stuff for the ladies.
Oh, and of course our gift shop.
Okay, I just.
Now listen, I come in, you kid me about coming in once or twice a week to get this done, okay? But what did you get? What all do you have in there?
Okay, so of course I'm going to get my Alabama Roll Tide. They have collegiate apparel.
Mike, what do you have Alabama
They have
stuff for in Texas?
high school apparel.
What is that now? Is
You
that my
need
team?
this. This is
Hey,
apparel, but you can't wear
apparel.
sequins. You're a guy.
Nationwide known high school football team.
My son-in-law's favorite Cowboys hat,
Oh, your son-in-law.
but he
That's
can't see
mine,
this
too.
because this is for Christmas, like for real.
Okay.
And we have candles. We have goodies. You need these.
Okay.
Sunglasses,
Got
which you
sunglasses.
broke 13 of a pair
All
today.
right. Cool, okay.
Candles, all kind of stuff. And then we have your small goodies for your car. So I know we fight about this every time because they have like, how many flavors do you guys have?
We have like 13 right now.
13 flavors. And so my favorite is leather. And you always get what?
Pina colada.
You like pina colada and black cherry.
Black cherry.
It's like a rainbow. I can just sit here and smell them all.
Yeah, you know what I like about these too? When you get tired of it in your car, it's just amazing how
Okay,
it works.
that's so not funny.
I love it. And then we can do this on you.
Stop. No, I literally put the leather in my closet, in my shoes to make them smell good. I mean, in my car and in my shoes, so yeah. But I do like coming here because it's fun.
It is a great car.
I mean-
Mike, how many vehicles come through here probably in a month? What would you say average?
In thousands,
So 5, 6, 7 in there?
5 to 10,
Wow. What's your record?
11.
11,000 car washes.
11.
I'm lucky to
1,000.
drive my car through once a month.
Wow. All right, tell me this. What have you ever had one pull up out here, the dirtiest that y'all looked at each other like, this is going to be $20-something or whatever?
We've had everything from trash all the way up to the door handles inside of the person's
Wait,
car.
what? Was there somebody living
Was that
in there?
was
Yes.
Tracy?
No,
No,
it wasn't
it
Tracy. No,
wasn't.
but literally there was a guy pulled up and he had trash all around him, all the way up to the door handles.
For real.
For real, promise. And then we get everything from muddy vehicles and kids going out mudding, four-wheeling with just mud all over. You can't even see the outside of the car.
That's awesome.
Well, I wasn't exaggerating. I've always gotten my car wash wherever, and this is the best car
appreciate it.
wash, bar none.
Thank you.
And second's way down the list. So
And I
y'all
come with him because I
y'all
get to
are the best.
shop.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate you
Good
talking
to
with
see
us
you.
today.
All righty.
All right.
Need help with those crutches?
I got it, honey. Thank you. Mm-hmm. Isn't that something? 11,000 cars a month, he said at times, go through that car wash.
Wow.
That's the most they've had, 7 and 9. They always do a super job. There's not a spot on it when they get through.
Yeah.
That's something.
Man, it looks great.
All the different type dirt and grime. He said some of them need detail. Some of them don't, just like some people's life. You know, I thought as we was going through the car wash and dealing with it, how it's just like the blood of Jesus. You know, when he said that some are, out of the thousands, some are dirtier than others.
Yeah.
And some need a little bit more work than others. And
Yes.
some need to be taken over to the other shop and a little bit more detail done with a little extra arm work, you know.
Yes.
And rub and scrub, but that's just like, you know, people that we deal with all the time. You know, but he made one statement I like when we was talking. He
What's
said,
that?
he said, but when they get through, they all come out the same, with the same
Yeah,
cleanliness.
come
you know.
out clean.
They come out clean. It didn't matter how they started.
Yes.
And I was sitting there thinking, I shared with him, that's just what the gospel's all about. It don't matter where you start, it's how you finish.
Yep. So how long do you think before this thing's dirty again? Before we have to take it back in?
It'll be dirty again. That's the reason I go weekly. I go weekly.
Man, I'm always shocked and surprised. The things you think people pay attention to in your life, they really don't. And it's the small, minute things, the slip-ups, the good and the bad that people often catch. And
Right.
things that we don't even see, but they notice.
Just don't matter again what you've done, as long as you get your cleansing.
All right, let's go in the house, buddy.
All right, let's
Woo,
go.
Get out the sun. It's baking in North Texas.
Hot Texas.
Woo.
A harsh reality of life is that it's not always enjoyable. Everyone has experienced rejection, whether in the form of harsh words, unreciprocated love, loss, or betrayal. Most people perceive rejection as a negative occurrence, when in reality, rejection can be one of the most powerful tools in life. Downside Up offers wisdom, guidance, and personal application while also outlining and establishing key biblical principles that promote emotional and mental wellness. Readers will understand the importance of developing a positive and God-designed self-portrait, identify their life's purpose, and maximize their potential for success. Discover the value of godly mentors and other positive relationships, and overcome negative thoughts, fear, and lack of self-confidence. Rejection is not about experiencing loss. It is an asset for fulfilling your dreams. Downside Up by Tracy Mitchell.
I remember the day I was out of town. I had flown out of town to attend a conference. And I remember the day having a conversation with this guy that I always call it an unspoken and uncommitted relationship. And I'm going to share a little bit about what that really is when you spend many years, many days, many months with someone who is not committed to you. That was my story. That was my story several years ago. I spent 7 years waiting on someone to make a decision about whether or not he wanted to commit to me. Within those 7 years, I I tried everything I could to make him want me, to make him like me. I would travel, just do all types of things because I really wanted to be in this particular relationship. This was a very hard time for me during this particular time. But one of the things that really hit me was several years ago, we were actually having a conversation, and I remember asking him, those questions that, we as women usually ask when we really want to be with someone and we really want a relationship with someone. One of the number one questions that I would always ask is, where are we? Who am I to you? I would always talk about, wanting to be in a relationship, wanting to be in a committed relationship. I think if he would have just committed, I would have been okay, but he wasn't, willing to do that. And so I would always ask those questions, when will we be in a relationship? This is what I want to do. And I never forget, that last time I asked him that question, it was like something just happened that particular day. He turned to me, he looked me dead in my face, and what he said to me was, why would you want to continue to be with someone who has told you over and over again that he's not ready? I was shocked. I was angry. I was hurt for the most part. I was hurt for a very long time because I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how many years I had wasted. Yeah, it was hard. I was extremely upset with myself. Yes, I was upset with him, but I was upset with me. Because I had to ask myself, what am I doing? And then I had to really consider my own feelings. And I had to realize he didn't love me. He didn't care. And it really devastated me to have gone through this, because I'm the type of person that, this is not something that I usually go through. Yes, I've had my share of unhealthy relationships, but this right here was something totally different, because I had someone who looked me dead in my face and said to me, why would you want to be with someone who continues to tell you that he's not ready? That's heartbreaking. That's hurtful. And it took him saying that to me for me to walk away and say, I'm done. Out of all the years with him saying, I'm not ready, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I'm never ready for a relationship, I got to do this, I got to take care of this, that statement right there was the most powerful for me. For me to really, really look at the situation for what it was and make the decision that I'm done. And I never looked back.
Hi, we are so excited that you're joining us today. We're going to have a wonderful conversation with our dear friend LaWanda Evans, all the way from, is it Lancaster, Texas?
Lancaster, Texas.
Right. I'm so glad when I began to read your blog and I began to hear you on our mutual friend Sherry's show, I was blown away by some of your concepts, precepts, things to do with singles. So how does someone know, because many think they're in a healthy relationship, what are the red flags that someone may be unawareingly in an unhealthy relationship?
One of the things that you can, to help you to identify whether or not you're in an unhealthy relationship, is whether or not that person is emotionally abusive. If that person has not committed to the relationship and they want the benefits of being in a relationship, however, they don't want to make the commitment, that's a way. And then if you're in a relationship with someone and they're physically abusive as well, that tells you that you're in an unhealthy relationship. And then if you're in a relationship with someone and he or she, whichever way it goes, if that person is treating you indifferently, if they are demeaning you, if they're putting you down, if they are talking to you, incorrectly, talking to you crazy, or, saying different things to you that hurt your feelings, or saying things over and over again to hurt your feelings, those are signs that you are in an unhealthy relationship. And sometimes you can't see what's going on, but you really want to look at some of the subtle things that are happening. Anytime you have a goal, or there's some things that you want to do, and that person puts you down, and that person doesn't support you, that person, let's say if you are of a particular status or something like that, and every time you want to try something or you want to do something different, that person not only does he not support you, but he doesn't, give you that extra push and kind of make you self-doubt yourself. And make you feel as if you can't do X, Y, Z, or make you feel as if you're not good enough, or begin to compare you to other people to make you feel bad about yourself.
So is it fair to say, because I've written a lot of persuasions on this, that those who are emotional manipulators will actually make the victim feel like the villain?
Yes, that is definitely true. Whenever you're dealing with someone who is emotionally manipulating you, and that person really is emotionally unstable himself. And so one of the things that you want to look at is when they try to make you feel as if you're the wrong person, make you feel as if you've done something wrong, make you feel as if what you're doing is not right, and making you feel as if what you're doing is not good enough. And they are basically manipulating you to think like they think. And what that does is it puts you in a position where you begin to see yourself the way they see you, instead of seeing yourself the way you've always seen yourself.
Always on the defensive.
Exactly.
And man, if you're dating someone or married that's jealous of you, that can be total chaos.
Exactly.
I had a question here. What is an unspoken or uncommitted relationship, or how do you know if you're in an uncommitted relationship, or in a relationship by yourself?
Okay. That's a good question. When I talk about an unspoken relationship or an uncommitted relationship, that's when you're in a relationship with someone and they have not committed to you. You are in a position where you are in a relationship with this person. You're doing all the things that constitute a relationship. You're going out, you're traveling, you're doing so many things for this person, but that person has not committed to you. It's an unspoken relationship, and you're basically in a relationship by yourself.
Wow.
You're doing everything. He may be doing some things as well, but he has not committed. And over again, he gives you excuse after excuse after excuse.
Just kind of faked it?
Exactly, as to why he can't be in a relationship. And so you continue to hold on, not knowing that you're with someone who's uncommitted to you, and you're in a relationship that's really unspoken. And then it can cause all types of emotional instability down the line as well.
Well, I know that you're using the pronoun he, but because I
know,
know
right?
you so well, I know that when you say he/she, because we find and we know that women tend to be even more chronic emotional and mental abusers than even sometimes men are. And I know we were talking earlier about how the term, we just fell in love. Is it really falling in love, or should there be a premise of at least some time frame of establishing a healthy friendship before you ever take the plunge and fall in love?
Yes, it's very important to be able to create a friendship first.
Yeah.
It's important to be able to develop a friendship with someone so that you can get to know that person. You may find that you're better off as friends instead of being together in a relationship. Yes. So it's very important to be able to set those guidelines and be able to identify what is it that you want. If you want friendship, well, let's set some boundaries for our friendship. Let's not talk about dating or being together if we're going to develop a friendship. And in friendship, you're getting to know a person. You may be hanging out with that person, but you're getting to know who that person really is. And being able to develop a friendship gives you the opportunity to be you.
So you said the term boundary. Give us an analogy. Let's break this. Let's just pause here and break it down for a little bit. What are some healthy boundaries?
Healthy boundaries when it comes to developing friendships. There's a certain time that he or she shouldn't be at your house.
Okay, like what time? Like after the sun sets and before the sun rises? Right. When the
After
sunset
the
goes
light
down.
pole, you look out the window when the light pole comes on.
Exactly.
Time to go.
But seriously.
So they shouldn't be at
You
your home.
shouldn't be at your house after a certain time.
All right.
Wow.
You shouldn't
And you're
be
talking about
spending,
adults too, not just
I'm talking
teenagers.
About adults. No, I'm talking about adults
Adults are
and
worse.
teenagers too,
Yes.
but adults as well, because you have to know what your vulnerabilities are.
Yes.
And as single people, we can't act like we don't get vulnerable.
Yes.
We can't act like that we don't put ourselves in situations that causes us to do things that we know that we shouldn't be doing, and cause us to do things that's going to cause us to be heartbroken the next day.
I heard
And so,
someone say, now you tell me if this is right. I hate to interrupt you, but tell me. They said your first date should be breakfast and not dinner. You know, is that
it
healthy?
depends. It
Yeah.
depends, because if you're going to have dinner, let's go to a restaurant.
Yes.
But you have to decide, do you want to drive or do you want me to meet you there? But then you decide how you want to do that, because when you're setting boundaries and we're just friends, okay, if you're going to drive, drop me off in the front and I'm good. If we're going to go out to dinner, then let's go to a nice restaurant. Let's go to a restaurant so we can talk where there's a lot of people, where we can talk and it's just not you and that person actually, at that particular place.
You know, I've told a lot of 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds, but also 40-year-olds need to hear this. Adults that date is simply one of the biggest mistakes of your life. You better be careful who you date.
That's right.
Because you can fall in love with someone God don't want you falling in love with.
That's right.
And that's all I got to say, because it's over then. If you
Yeah.
fall in love with someone God never intended you to fall in love with, we're talking about as a believer,
Exactly.
you're in trouble.
Exactly.
I got a question here that I put down. Why is it important, this is very important to those watching, to identify what you need in a relationship versus what you want? You need to make it plain to the other party.
Yes. When I talk about identifying what you need versus what you want, many times what we want deals with a lot of the outer attributes. He or she has to look a certain way. They have to make this, amount of money, or they have to do this or do that, or X, Y. It's more about the outer when we talk about what we want. But when we talk about what we need, we're really talking about those things that's going to sustain the relationship, that's going to sustain the marriage. For example, if you know consistency is very important to you, that's something that you need, versus he or she looks a certain way. Because if you know consistency is important, that's the thing that's going to keep you up at night. So we need to be able to identify what we need. If you know that honesty is important, if you know that loyalty is important, if you know that being able to communicate is important, those are the things that you need that sustains the relationship. All of the outer things are things that we really want. That's what I want. And I think sometimes we merge those things together and say, okay, what you need and what you want is basically the same thing. And I beg the difference, because what I need is totally different from what I want. I may want tall, dark, and handsome, but what I need is consistency, because he can be tall, dark, and handsome and not be consistent. Then I'm going to be up late at night crying and frustrated. So we have to be able to identify what you need when it comes to a relationship.
So you're an expert for many reasons. Now you're a licensed counselor.
Yes,
is that right?
I'm a licensed
tell us a
professional
little bit
counselor.
about what your professional background is like.
Okay. In my profession, I am a licensed professional counselor. I'm also a national certified counselor. And I provide counseling services as well as coaching services for women, and also work with couples. And so what I do in my practice, I work with women, and what I do when working with them is that I help women and teach women how to love themselves.
Wonderful.
I teach women how to make healthy relationship decisions, and I also teach them how to make positive changes in life that lead to happiness and improvement in their emotional and mental health. Because I understand that sometimes we as women, we go through so much, especially when it comes to relationships. So I'm in the business of helping women to be able to deal with those issues and deal with their challenges. And then I work with couples. I provide premarital as well as couples counseling to really help couples to recommit, to reconnect, and to rebuild their relationship. And so I do I would say a wide range of things in helping people to really work on their relationship skills and really help them to build what it is that they want and to make sure that they have a healthy relationship. It's not impossible to have a healthy relationship. What it is, it takes a lot of work. And what I've found that many people, single and those that are in dating relationships together, they don't want to put in the work.
Wow. So you used the turn phrase that you must love yourself.
Yes.
So tell me 2 or 3 short phrases that one must do in order to love themselves completely.
In order to love yourself completely, number one, you have to be whole.
Okay.
You have to know what that looks like. If you've gone through life and you don't know what it looks like to really love yourself, you need to identify what makes you happy. What are those things that you enjoy doing? What is the thing that you wake up every morning and you're passionate about? And then you have to go out and do those things. So that's what that means, to really love you, to really be in tune with you and not be so concerned about wanting to be in a relationship, but become whole as an individual before you actually get into a relationship.
So what are 1 or 2 things that person that finds themselves over and over trapped in pitiful choice relationships, they cry themselves, they have anger management issues, all because they're repeat offenders when it comes to relationships. What would 2 or 3 things you would say to them today?
The first thing is acknowledge the fact that you're making those decisions.
Okay.
Because we first have to acknowledge that there is a problem. And many times we deny that.
Yes.
So acknowledge the fact that, hey, there's something wrong with this. And then the second thing you want to do is begin to seek counsel to deal with why you're making the same decisions. Why are you dating the same person that looks different?
Yes.
Being able to really look at that and see why you're doing it. And that only comes through counseling, to really look at your pattern of unhealthy relationships and see how that's impacting you. And then being able to look at your past and being able to look at your environment that you were raised in. Many times we fail to realize that how we were raised and our past relationship experiences actually lead us to unhealthy relationships, because we're seeking something that we did not get or something that was taken away from us, and so we end up in an unhealthy relationship.
So if you don't deal with your issues ahead of time, your
Yes.
relationship, the percentage is against it working.
Exactly.
Your marriage is a mess.
That's right,
It ain't
because you
gonna
have
work.
to deal with your issues.
You gotta deal with it.
I know you've received invaluable information today from our friend Lawanda. Go on her website. You'll be challenged, you'll be changed, and most importantly, you'll walk away with a fresh mindset on how to have a healthy relationship. Thank you so much. It's been
Thank
great
you.
to
Thank
be
you.
here with you. Blessings to you today. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hey, Mike. I'm here today with Mustang Elite Car Wash in Grapevine, Texas. My favorite car wash. I was thinking, Tracy,